Hey, who are you? I'm Mrs. Bat.
Oh my... Wait. No.
Last week, darlings, 6,000 of you watched me fall apart over Matty Juniosa. 200 of you stormed the comments. Untouchable, you said. Nobody is coming for that crown, you said. I believed every single one of you. And I was ready to. Because Matty earned it. And then semifinal 2 happened. And darlings, I need to talk about 2 things tonight. Because this competition just got complicated in ways I did not see coming. And one of them involves KSI. And the other one made me forget how to breathe. Welcome back to Velvet's BGT Power Rankings, the only leaderboard on the internet that tells you the truth. Tonight we fill 4 slots, and I need you to brace yourselves, because nothing about what I am about to say is what you expect. Let's start with the elephant in the room. Fabian Fox, Austrian illusionist, 26 years old. Let me show you something.
Go!
Okay, I will give him this. For approximately 4 seconds, I was impressed. And then...
Mrs. Bat. Do you know any of the judges? I know KSI.
And then a woman walked out of the crowd. KSI's former primary school teacher, Mrs. Bats. For a word. The word was gamer. Darlings, I have questions. Let me be very clear about what happened on that stage. Fabian Fox did not perform a magic trick. He performed a marketing campaign. He didn't just pick a judge, darlings. He picked a target. He knew exactly which button to press to make the internet explode. He traveled to KSI's primary school. He found his teacher. He built his entire act around the one judge with 24 million YouTube subscribers. And then he stood on that stage and made 24 million gaming fans feel like they were part of the magic. Is that talent? Or is that the most sophisticated audience manipulation I have ever witnessed on a talent show? Because I genuinely cannot decide. And that is the question. KSI said on television he would have pressed the golden buzzer himself. 24 million subscribers said, "We are voting for this man." And the public voted him through. So here is Velvet's question, and I need you to answer this in the comments right now. If KSI was not in that judging seat, does Fabian Fox make the final? Because I think we both already know the answer. Brilliant? Yes. Infuriating? Also yes. Strategic? Absolutely. But clever is not the same thing as transcendent. And that is where the argument lives. Number 4 on the leaderboard. Ghostly, here, present, won the public vote, with some extracurricular assistance. But darlings, while I was sitting here processing the KSI industrial complex, 66 people walked onto that stage. From Liverpool. And I forgot every single thing I just said. Look at this. Look at this. Stop. Stop it right there. The geometry of this. Not one arm, not one body, not one breath out of place. 66 human beings moving as a single organism. This is not dancing. This is architecture. And I am terrified and delighted simultaneously. And then Alesha Dixon. Who knows what this costs in your body and your bones? Stood up and said, "This is the one." She did not hesitate, not for a second. Now let me tell you why this is the most complicated moment of BGT 2026 for me personally. When I watched Fabian Fox, I was intellectually dazzled, strategically impressed. My brain was engaged. When I watched LMA, I felt something in my chest that I cannot fully explain, because these are students, 19 to 24 years old, from the Liverpool Media Academy, working-class kids from the north of England who trained their bodies into instruments for someone else's vision. That is not just talent. That is submission to something greater than yourself. And I find that overwhelming. That is the difference, darlings. Fabian dazzled my brain. LMA cracked my heart open. But here is where Velvet picks a side, because I do not sit on fences. LMA is the most visually extraordinary act this competition has seen in years. And I still do not think they can beat Matty Juniosa, because Matty gave me his soul. One man, one voice, one story of failure and redemption, alone on that stage, bleeding for us. LMA gave me 66 people disappearing into each other. Beautiful, yes. Historic, yes. But Matty still feels like truth, and truth is harder to beat than spectacle. That is my take. I know half of you are already typing. Good. Number 2, threatening. Not because they are better than Matty, but because they are the first act in this competition that plays by completely different rules. And that makes them dangerous. Here is what semifinal 2 actually told us. This is no longer just a talent show. It is 3 philosophies fighting in public. Matty says talent is soul. One human being's raw, unfiltered truth standing alone and making a room believe him. LMA says talent is what happens when you sacrifice the individual to the collective vision. 66 people becoming one. And Fabian Fox says talent is knowing exactly where the audience already lives and sending a postcard straight to that address. Which is outrageously clever. But clever is not transcendent. Do you want a world where one person's raw, bleeding heart is enough? Or a world where 66 people moving in perfect silence is the highest form of art? Or a world where the person who knows their audience best simply wins? Because I am looking at that leaderboard and I am seeing something I have never seen in this competition before. A genuine 3-way argument about what Britain actually values. And when they all stand on that final stage, every single person watching is going to have to decide what they believe. That is extraordinary television. And I am here for every second of it. And so are you, which is why you need to subscribe and come back for every semifinal. Because this leaderboard is only going to get more complicated. Right, the rankings as they stand. Let's go. Matty Juniosa, number 1. Untouchable. The crown stays. Nobody has moved him. Nobody has matched what he did with his soul on that stage. For now. Sadeck, Berrabah, and LMA, number 2. Threatening. The first act that makes me genuinely nervous for Matty. The first act that plays by completely different rules, and that makes them dangerous in a finale. Anastasia and Salsa, number 3. Charming. Darlings. I love a dancing dog as much as the next drag queen, but let us be honest with ourselves. Break 0. Fabian Fox, number 4. Ghostly. Public vote winner. With a little help from the KSI universe. I am not saying it was the 24 million subscribers that did that. I am just saying that is a very convenient 24 million. 6 slots remain. 3 semifinals still to come. And the question, the only question that matters, is whether anything left in this competition has what it takes to look Matty Juniosa in the eye on that final stage and say, I deserve this more than you. The leaderboard has spoken. The rankings are set. And if you think I am wrong, the comments section is right there. Team Matty, Team LMA, Team Fabian Fox if you absolutely must. Pick a side. Make some noise. Now get off that stage.
If you want more of this, darling, you know what to do. Subscribe!